What is up? Welcome to Motion Sports Network, man. We are here. Going to be doing some recaps, man. What an incredible weekend of football we had, man. I was in Tennessee watching the KFL championship go on, man, and that was exciting, man. We had a really, really awesome time down there. What a great championship. Massachusetts Maulers takes the victory, and they become the first ever KFL champions. That's pretty impressive, man. It was good stuff. But Drew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I haven't slept in the last 24 hours after that Ravens win, so you can see the dark circles in my eyes. I'm kind of running on adrenaline right now.
That was an incredible matchup, man. That was a great matchup, man. I mean, it was funny because I was looking at the live line. Me and you were texting each other, and we were looking at the live line, and I was like, dude, I'm going to bet the under after freaking Lamar Jackson throws the interception, pick six, like the first freaking pass of the game. Pick six, Chiefs go up 7-0. And then, Ravens come back and, they kudos to them right on the next drive, man. Lamar brings them down 7-7. Then it was 14-7. And I was like, this can't continue. There's no way that this kind of scoring is going to continue. And then the over-under got up to 68.5. I was like, I'm going to ring the bell. There's no chance this is going over. Well, your boy was wrong.
It went over.
It continued.
The action never stopped. It was just an incredible back and forth. And I guess it's better to have 2 turnovers earlier in the game than having 2 turnovers late in the game. So, and that's the difference. My boy Owe came up with the strip and the fumble, and the dude is just an absolute freak. So, yeah, we're glad to have him.
Yeah, it was incredible, man. I mean, there's no doubt it was incredible. I don't know what to say, man. It was, back and forth. And honestly, I thought for sure that, that the Chiefs, they're just unstoppable, man. But to have that 4th and 1, and where Harbaugh asks Lamar, "Hey, you want to go for it?" And he's like, of course I want to go for it. And then he does. I mean, and wins the game like that, dude. It's unbelievable.
That's trusting your quarterback. So
look at the swag just came in today, man.
I'm digging it.
The old sports jerseys, man, kind of a baseball jersey, little gold trim, gold embroidery, man. It's quality, dude. It's quality. Freaking baseball jersey action with a hat, man. I'm really decked out, ready to go, man. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and get into the Saturday college football deal here, man. Alabama, man. Number 1 Alabama goes to Florida. Honestly, in the first half, dude, they were up, I think 14, if I'm not mistaken. Looked like the game was handily in play, and then, dude, Florida just came on, man. They actually wound up coming back, almost took the victory, man. But Alabama hangs on 31-29. Not too good looking for that kind of deal there, man.
No, that defense finally got exposed. I think Florida ran for 250 plus, almost 300 yards on the ground on them. For an Alabama defense, that's unheard of. I can't remember the guy's name, but the freshman number 5, he knew what he was doing. He took it to him. So, hell of a game.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was pretty cool, man. I was watching it, but again, the question is Alabama going to win the national championship after that performance, man? I think it's in doubt, man. I don't think they're as strong as an Alabama team they were in the past. They certainly did not show that at all. But like Brian said, Alabama's overrated, no doubt. Brian, I'm gonna send you an invite, man. If you got time, come on air, brother. Love to have you on, talk some sports if you have time. I know you're a busy man, and we'll see, dude, but I'll send you the link anyway, man. Get your thoughts on some other good stuff here that we've talked about, man. As I said, I don't know if you have time, but if you do, here's the invite, man. It's coming to you.
Yes, but if you take a look at, I guess Alabama will be the best of, what's there. Ohio State didn't look that great. Georgia, I think their quarterback now is hurt. There's just a lot of fraudulent teams out there. Yeah, well, Georgia,
Georgia did look good, 40-13
they blew them out.
against South Carolina. If you were to take Georgia and Alabama today on neutral field, who would you take?
If the quarterback isn't hurt, I would probably take Georgia. I think they can run them up and down, just like Florida did. Man, like I said, that Alabama defense just got exposed, and once they got the blueprint on how to beat you, it's gonna be a tough hill going forward. Clemson ain't gonna do nothing to them.
I think another fraud team is Oklahoma, man. Look, 23-16 against Nebraska. They are not a 3 team. I'm sorry, man. After what I've seen, they're a fraud. I mean, I'm just not impressed, man.
Rattler's overhyped. I'd never liked them to begin with, and not a team I believe in. And one team that is not getting the credit because they're not as a big of an FBC team is Cincinnati. Yeah, they did okay against Indiana, but they're tough. They come out to play, and they're just not getting any love. Michigan is going to be a tough out this year. Every game they've had 300 yards rushing.
Yeah. Oregon looks good. Oregon's the 4 team. I think actually the Oregon should be the 2 team. I think they should be the 2 team or 3 team. I would say Georgia's the 2 team, but 3 team they should be there. Iowa looks good. Clemson is a fraud too, by the way. Clemson, I mean, you can't handle your business, man. I mean, dude,
Lele is not doing it.
No, man, dude, he's terrible. 14-8 against Georgia Tech, terrible.
Yep.
Not.
Another team is Penn State. Watch out.
Yeah, Penn State. Dude, hey, by the way, can I say something? You know what's worse than these SEC overrated teams?
Nope.
Overhyped. The SEC referees.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, these referees absolutely suck. Hey, look, we got a little visitor. I thought you said not tonight, man.
I changed my mind.
Dude, skinny bitty. What's going on, Brian Donati?
I can't let you guys sit here and talk about overrated Alabama.
Oh, come on, dude. 31-29. I mean, look, they are not impressive to me, that as impressive as the past teams. Now, Bryce Young, I think, is going to wind up being the Heisman Trophy winner. But I'll tell you what, I mean, the SEC, I think if anybody can beat Alabama this year, they will be beatable. You know what I mean? They will be beatable. I just think they can. I mean, I don't think they're going to be blowing everybody out this year.
It'll come down to that SEC championship game between them and Georgia. That'll determine who that 1 seed's going to be.
Yeah. But like I said, I was talking about how bad the referees were this weekend, Brian. It was terrible.
Are you talking college? Or are you talking professional? Because
let's talk college. Let's talk college first. The SEC referees were in. Let me just talk about this matchup. The Memphis. By the way, I had the Memphis money line, which is money. So I'm not upset about this. But the Memphis Mississippi State game, where the referee. Go check the video, guys. If you haven't seen this video, you got to go see. This is unbelievable. There's a punt that happened, and the SEC referee literally threw the bag out there. And they had marked the punt where it was down. The Mississippi State player, the gunner, downed the ball. The bag was thrown, and the referee put his hands up in the air to stop the clock, to stop the play. Memphis guy comes over there, grabs the ball, takes it up on like the 4-yard line, and runs all the way for a touchdown. And that's how they wound up winning. It was unbelievably terrible. Terrible. We got another gentleman, Mr. Todd Patrick. What's going on, sir?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Man, got a family affair going on. What's going on, guys?
It was all in the family, man, for sure. But it was the refereeing overall this weekend was pathetic. And then another situation happened in the Penn State game to where you had Auburn literally trying to defend the goal line. The guy tackles this kid. The kid slips out of the tackle. The running back slips out of the tackle. And then tries to dive for the goal line. Well, Auburn quarterback hits him. I mean, squares him up. Doesn't target him one bit. Squares him up and pops him as he was going to the ground, trying to prevent him from the goal line. And they threw a freaking targeting flag, and they kicked him out. I mean, it was ridiculous. A lot of this crap going on was just absurd. And I don't know, man. It was crazy. So.
I don't know. I went 1-2 this weekend, so I can't complain, too much. But I also can't say I did very well.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Targeting this week was crazy, and then the taunting in the NFL. That's absolutely
Just
ridiculous.
Awful.
On not
that Keenan Allen
Fun
one.
League.
No.
Yep.
No fun league. Brian, let's talk a little what you're all about, man. I mean, a little NASCAR, get a little heated on the track, man, at Bristol.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
How could you not love it? Listen, here's what I think. That was Bristol. That's going to happen. You guys know that that's going to happen at least once a year, right? That's where it all boils down to. It's a cutoff for the chase, or not a cutoff for the chase, but a cutoff to move to the next round, to the round of 12. Harvick hasn't won all season long, right?
Yep.
Chase takes the win away from him, driving around in front of him, not really able to get away. I think it was great that cooler heads prevailed. They were able to talk about it. Just think 3, 4, 5 years ago, they'd have been throwing blows.
Oh, no question.
They would have been throwing blows.
Kevin Harvick's getting a little bit grouchy in his old age. What do you think, man?
Oh yeah.
He's been grouchy for the last 10 years. I mean, but listen, you got to, I think Chase said it best, right? And looking at it from both sides, he just came back and said, I don't care who he is or how long he's been in here. This is what he did has happened several times.
Yep.
I clearly, in my own opinion, didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yep.
I think if you watch the replay during that time frame, Kevin loses the nose of the car going into the center of the corner, trying to get by the other car.
Right.
Slower car ends up moving up the track. They end up, hitting side by side. The pipes hit the tire goes down. It is what it is. But, evidently those two have had some run-ins in the past, this year.
When's NASCAR going to put Kyle Busch in his place? And what he did a week ago, endangering those those workers on the track, man, and flying that car to the back of the to the back of the trailer, man. I think he got fined $50,000. But when are they going to park this kid?
I don't. They'll never park. You're right, Drew. They'll never park it because that's the ratings. Now,
that's exactly right.
50,000. For Kyle Busch, that's like $10 for us, right? That's $10 for us. That's no big deal, right? That goes into a fund at the end of the year and it goes to charity. So, again, what does he care? But that's ratings. That's what people want to see. It's going to take somebody to get hurt. And I hate to say this, it's going to take somebody to get hurt for them to sit down and say, you know what, Kyle, we can talk to you all day long you're not going to change. We obviously know that.
Yeah.
The minute something really happens, that's when they're going to set him down and say, you know what? Nope, you're done. Because remember, they have done that once before.
Yep.
With Kyle Busch, years ago when, if you remember, he took out Ron Hornaday in a truck race. Can't remember which racetrack it was. It may have been Atlanta under a caution, took him completely out. They parked him for the rest of that weekend.
Yeah. No doubt. I want to get back to college football real quick. I mean, it was a good weekend, guys. The top 4 right now is Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Oregon. If you were to make the playoffs today, the top 4, who would be in your playoffs?
Not Oregon.
No, I think Iowa or Penn State would be ahead of them a little bit.
I would put Penn State in.
That Iowa defense, it's just.
So you're looking at Alabama, Georgia, Iowa, Penn State.
I think that's probably good.
So you got 2 SECs and 2 Big Tens, and everybody else is just crap.
Like I said, another team, Michigan is another team to look out for. Michigan.
Oh God, no! Michigan hadn't played anybody.
Michigan State's flying under the radar.
What about A&M?
So there's a whole bunch.
A&M is out for me, man. You can't go to Colorado and just barely win 10-7. They're out.
No, in fact, they're out of
my top 10.
In that Colorado game, they also lost their starting quarterback, and Calzada had to come in. The defense played great. The offense just couldn't get clicking with the new quarterback. I think Colorado's a decent squad, and I don't think that's something that you can take against A&M. But A&M is going to show out versus Arkansas this week. That's going to be a huge game in the SEC West.
Great game.
A&M has never lost to Arkansas since they've joined the SEC. And this is a huge game for Arkansas because I think Arkansas is legit.
They are legit.
I think that defense is something else. I actually like Arkansas in that game.
I'm genuinely nervous about that. But to go in the top 4, Greg, if I can get mine, Alabama is a clear-cut number 1. Georgia, JT Daniels does not impress me, but their defense is national championship caliber, so that keeps them there. I think what Oregon did when they went into Ohio State, even though Ohio State showed some vulnerability, especially last week versus Tulsa, I still think that they're deserving, and I don't believe in Oklahoma. I think Spencer Rattler is amazing, but I think that defense is susceptible to getting thrown on and ran on all day long. So in that case, I would actually have Iowa as my 4th team in. So I would go Alabama. I would actually have Oregon number 2, Georgia 3, and Iowa 4.
Okay. Brian, what do you think, bud?
You know, I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of looking at the rankings and everything else here. Here's a team that I want everybody to keep an eye out for. They've beaten 2 top 25 teams already this year, I believe, and that's BYU.
I agree, man. I don't be sleeping on those guys.
BYU is
dangerous
the charts, and they are climbing the charts. So I watched the I watched the end of the Arizona State game.
Yeah.
Right. And Arizona State was ranked 19th when they beat them, if I'm not mistaken, last week.
Right.
And they beat them soundly. Again, I watched the end of the game. I didn't get a chance to watch too much college football this weekend because I was actually going out and attempting to race myself, very unsuccessfully. But I made an attempt at it, right? And I got to race with the young kids. But, BYU impressed me the second half of that game. Right. They're moving up the charts. They're up 7 spots this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
again, and they should be. Yeah, because they're running roughshod. By the way, man, how's your brother doing, man?
So
everybody doesn't want to know. Everybody didn't know. Your brother got in a bad wreck.
Yeah. So my brother races karts as well. I was down in Brunswick, down in Lawrenceville, Virginia. Got into an accident, ended up getting thrown out of the cart, has a fracture in his hip, fractured pelvis, and I think 1 or maybe 2 cracked ribs. They let him go home today. He got transferred to Richmond. I go up at VCU. He once they got him up walking, they let him go home this afternoon. He should probably be home, probably if not within the hour, probably already home by now. So,
wow,
going to be a long recovery, but
man.
He's going to be fine. He's not going to really be walking or doing anymore. He's definitely not racing anymore. So that's kind of
that's terrible news, man. Well, I'm glad he's okay. Another team, guys, I'm looking at, man, is absolutely showing some strength, man. You don't be sleeping on these guys. In fact, they might even have a chance to win the Big Ten. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, man. It's Michigan State. Michigan State is doing good defense, man. Absolutely. And I'm impressed with the running game. But Michigan State was unranked, went into Miami, absolutely schooled Miami. I mean, took them to town. And I'll tell you what, man, they have a chance to do some damage in that Big Ten, man. It's going to be really, really, really cool. So I like that BYU pick. My kind of pick like that, Brian, not so much in the top 4, but, I mean, to give them some love is going to be Michigan State. So watch them come through the ranks. Guys, let's talk about the NFL, man.
Greg.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, one other team that is deserving to be talked about right here in this spot real quick before we go to the NFL.
Sure.
Cincinnati Bearcats, man.
Yes. Going to Indiana.
Yeah, they went into Indiana, hostile environment, and was able to win by double digits. That defense is legit. And that could be a non-power 5 team that shakes up the polls at the end of the year. So just to throw that in there, Cincinnati Bearcats, Luke Fickell, Damon Ritter, that team is absolutely amazing.
Guys. Yeah, we were talking about them before we came on, and they're just not going to get the love because they are not in a Power 5. That team they're showing out.
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Give me a score update here, guys. The Lions just scored a touchdown on their opening drive. They are up 7-0 against the Green Bay Packers. Wow.
Lions will win.
Wow. There's a guy that's
763,000.
If there's a guy bet $25. He's 15-0 against the spread, guys. He's picked some money line guys to do. He's 15-0. He's got one more game to go. He has the Lions tonight. And if the Lions win outright, the guy gets $750,000 on a $25 ticket.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Hey, and to stay with Cincinnati, they will beat Notre Dame this week.
Ooh,
I like that
calling it
pick.
now.
I like that pick.
I like that,
too.
Todd. I like that, Todd. Yeah, man.
At South Bend, that's going to be a tough one. I tell you
Sure.
what, Notre Dame is
Notre
not
Dame
playing
ain't
very well. They're not playing. You're going to say it best, Drew. Notre Dame is not playing good quality football. They're just not. They're barely winning in the teams they should have blown out.
Yep.
And I got to be honest with you guys, and you three correct me here, but I have yet to see any of these big blowouts this year.
I agree with you, man. It's not like that now. There's no doubt, man. I mean, I don't know if it's obviously spreading the talent. I mean, Alabama is obviously a few and far between, but I thought they were gonna blow Florida out of the water come this Saturday, man, and have it 2-point game, man. Their defense just doesn't look good. Our SEC guy Jeremy Baker's gonna be doing some stuff on that here this week, and he'll talk more about it, man. What's going on in Alabama? Auburn too, man. Auburn had their chances in Penn State, guys. Also, hey, we're going to try. We are trying to work it out with Maryland, but we are trying to get a live broadcast and pregame at Maryland's Terp Stadium there before the Maryland Penn State game in Landover, Maryland. So anyway, we're trying to do that. Yeah, we're going to try to make a live appearance and do a live show pre-gaming the Terps and Penn State. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So working all that out.
Which one gets to put the head on whoever they decide? You or you?
We ain't doing all that crap, man. We just
who's the Lee Corso of the group?
Who gets to put the big head on?
That's gonna be you, Brian. That's gonna be you.
Hey, I'll do it. It'll fit.
Hey, and bringing up that game though, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're losing you.
They're not a bad squad.
No, they've got
up to alert this week.
Yeah, I mean they got a Tungaloa brother there, man. So he reminds me of just like his brother who got hurt this weekend. We wish for the best. But hey, man, staying with Cincinnati. Look, man, we're gonna get the NFL. Cincinnati Bengals came into Chicago. Chicago's getting their, handing it to them. Dalton gets out early. Justin Fields makes his debut basically for extended series and didn't look great, man. I'll be honest with you, did not look great. Two interceptions, a rating of 27.6. Ran a couple times, but honestly, if it wasn't for Allen Robinson, really, he had a great throw to Allen Robinson, dropped a touchdown pass, which made him look terrible. But Cincinnati does come back, man. The Bears were up like 20-3. Cincinnati does come back with really an interception there at our goal line, punches it in, and then Joe Burrow gets another touchdown late, man, and makes it interesting. But the Bears do take the victory, 20-17, and both teams are now 1-1. So. Todd, what happened with Cincinnati, man?
Couldn't get it going in the first half. Bears defense dominated the first half, and
defense looked fantastic.
The Bengals just they couldn't overcome that defense, and that defense is that's your guys' stepping stone there in Bears land. You're going to rely on that D, hold teams to 20 or less points, and you're going to hope that your offense can come out and put up 21, 24, 23. And I think it's going to be that way all year for them. The Bengals are still young, growing. If I'm not mistaken, they're the second youngest team in the NFL. So that team's still gelling. We'll have to see what happens with them. Joe Burrow. That offensive line for Cincinnati's got to get better. I think that's the obvious weak point there. But as far as Cincinnati goes, big game coming up versus Pittsburgh this week. And the Bears also have a big game this week as well.
Yeah, we go to Cleveland, man. We go to Cleveland and see what happens there. It's going to be interesting to see that matchup. Brian, I'm going to talk to you about, man, the Dallas Cowboys, man. They go into the Chargers and actually win on the road, man. That's a pretty impressive win for the Cowboys, man.
They did. They played well as a team. I think they kind of, everybody kind of sat back and looked at themselves in the mirror, basically, because they should have beaten Tampa Bay. There's no doubt about it, right?
Yes.
I think everybody agrees. They should have beaten Tampa Bay. They went into, into LA. I almost said San Diego, but they went into LA.
Yep.
And they played well. the Chargers are a great team. I really think that they, listen, they're going to give Kansas City, and I said it a couple weeks ago, Greg, they are going to give Kansas City a run for that AFC West.
Yep.
Right. And I think that, again, they'll gel out a little bit, but Dallas is much better a veteran team than what the Chargers are, and they were able to come and squeak out the win there. I think LA probably should have won. I think that there was a call late in that game of in the grass, but put LA back on the 25-yard line, which again should not have happened.
Yep.
You also had a fictitious false start,
yes.
along with a taunting call. I mean, that could have been dangerous on the point, but that should have been a touchdown. I don't know where the false start happened.
And it seemed like every big play
another referees, man. Referees just suck.
It was a flag. So yeah, I mean, they definitely.
Yeah, my surprise team, guys. Everybody laughed at me when I said this, man. But the 2-0 Las Vegas Raiders, man, going to Pittsburgh, take the victory, man. Drew, talk about that one, man. That was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, David Carr, before he got hurt, I mean, he's throwing it out, man. I mean, he's got some weapons. They beat my Ravens in the week 1. Waller had 19 targets. That's unheard of for a tight end.
Unheard of.
I mean, they're playing good ball. Jacobs now hurt. I think he has his ankles, and
yep.
So we'll see. I mean, but it seems like every team's hurt right now.
Henry Ruggs had a great reception there at the end, man, to blow the game out, man. But long, I think it was like 60 something yard reception for the touchdown, man. There late. Pittsburgh, man, looked old. They looked old.
They are.
Roger got hurt more than 10 yards. So I mean, he's
So I mean, they got problems on their defense. Another great game, guys, was Arizona taking out the Vikings. Vikings come out, man. First pass of the game. Kirk Cousins throws a 65-yard touchdown pass, opens the game up, man. And I mean, I tell you what, man, 67 points were scored in this game. And I don't know if you got a chance to see the call that Paul Allen made where Jeffers was trying to kick the ball for the Minnesota Vikings. The guy's like, and it's good. No, it's not. It's not. It's he missed it right. And Arizona hangs on, man. But I'll tell you what, Kyler Murray, another awesome performance, man.
400 yards.
Weapons.
Three touchdowns on top of 5 touchdowns from last week and 400 yards. Wow, man. The guy's just throwing dimes.
Behind Tom Brady, he's got to be second in the running for MVP so far early on in the year, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Now, let me ask you this: oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought here. The wide receiver for DeAndre Hopkins, is he the best wide receiver in the NFL?
No.
Yes.
He might have the best catch radius of all. I think Devontae Adams is the best receiver of the game.
Wow.
Yep, I'll agree with that. I think Adams is much better.
I'd take DeAndre Hopkins any day of the week right now. I think that the level he's playing on. I mean, if you're going off stats, it's Cooper Kupp.
Now.
But best receiver in the game. Devontae Adams has an argument there, but with the Green Bay slow start, let's see what happens tonight before you talk about that. Really, but I would have to go with Cooper Kupp. Would probably be one right now, but DeAndre Hopkins has got to be in that argument. He's got to be top 3.
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah, his catch radius is ridiculous.
Let's throw a name in there right now, guys. How about Deebo Samuel?
He got hurt
in Francisco.
Yeah, he's the best receiver in the hospital right now.
He's hurt.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett showed out yesterday with
again
Russell Wilson. Again. He's always underrated and he's always a top performer. There's a lot of good young talent wide receiver. We just talked about Minnesota and Jefferson. And the guy's absolutely amazing. And there's a lot of top notch receivers out there. But right now, Cooper Kupp would be number 1 in the league.
Guys, Packers are driving down there in the red zone now against Detroit, and it's 2nd and 1 at the Detroit 9. So looks like
Tanyan time.
Yeah, it looks like Green Bay. It's gonna be high. It's one of those games, man. It's crazy. Another crazy
Jones on my fantasy team.
Yeah, another crazy game was Tennessee and Seattle went into overtime. Tennessee takes out Seattle in Seattle. Man, has Seattle's home field advantage dwindled away? Not like it used to.
Had them in the first half, and second half they just fell apart. You can't let Henry have 3 touchdowns.
I don't think their home field advantage has gone away. I just think that was just a game where persistency to the run game for Tennessee was key. And when you have a running back that's going to run for over 170 yards, most likely you're going to win that ball game, regardless where you're at. And Russell Wilson looked great. I mean Wagner, their linebacker had like 18 tackles in the game. It was just a good game. And I think it was perseverance through Tennessee. They needed that game. I know it's early in the season, but they needed to get to that 1-1 mark. And I think that was huge for them. But man, that 12th man there is legit. And that doesn't happen. I think that's the first time ever that with Seattle winning by 14 or more in the second half that they had actually lost a game. So that's a stat for you right there. So I think Seattle's going to be legit this year. But Tennessee showed, hey, we have the best running back in the game, and here he is.
Yeah, Tannehill throws 347 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Derrick Henry 182 on 35 carries and 3 touchdowns. That is insanity.
You got to be able to run the ball. Seattle can't run the ball. They don't have anybody to run the ball. When you get 13 rushes for 31 yards, teams are going to lock in and say, I can put 4 guys in the front and put,
diamond nickel packages
all day long.
All day long.
You got one guy 2 guys you really got to stop on that team, right? It's going to be hard to stop Lockett and
Metcalf.
And so you've got to be able to run the ball. 13 rushers and your highest rushers only got 31 yards.
Yeah,
you're zeroing in, like you said, Greg, on dime and nickel packages. I think Seattle's going to struggle this year, and where they're going to struggle is when you get into games where you can't throw the ball.
I said it in the very beginning of the year. Seattle's offensive line is garbage, and trying to protect Russell Wilson as well as the run game, they're just not going to be good. So they're just garbage.
Green Bay just scored. Aaron Jones, thank you very much.
Nice.
Listen, another impressive win here. Tampa Bay takes out Atlanta Falcons. I mean, Atlanta. What's going on with Atlanta, man?
No defense.
Greg, that game was closer than it actually looked, right?
Yeah, they can't play in the second half. It was a 25-24 game there.
Yeah,
it was.
Exactly. And then Atlanta started throwing the ball. They started throwing the ball, and that offensive line is not very good either, right?
No.
So you start throwing the ball, and now you got 2 picks, 2 of them back for pick sixes, right? By the same guy. So
Matt Ryan throws 3 interceptions, man. It's just no good. Tom Brady, 5 touchdowns, man. I think 2 to Gronk. I mean, it's incredible, man.
And
just incredible.
Under 300 yards total passing and 5 touchdowns. So he didn't have to throw the ball.
He had a Jameis Winston week. Y'all see that stat last week? 150 yards and that's 5 touchdowns. Yeah.
Where was that this week?
Laying on the ground.
Yeah. Three
Tampa Bay is definitely shown to be the class of the league at the moment. That defense is already revved and rolling. I mean, Atlanta did score on them early, but they did get a couple of short field opportunities early on. Atlanta did, but my gosh, that team's the class of the league right now.
Big game this week against LA.
Guys, Green Bay did wind up scoring a touchdown. Aaron Jones, a little pass from Aaron Rodgers. And Jared Goff throws, let's see, the first touchdown was to Quintez Cephas. Cephas gets the touchdown for Detroit. So 7-7, guys, tied. Still 3 minutes and 45 seconds in the first quarter. But we have a 7-7 time. I mean, I'm surprised. I'll be honest with you. I did not expect Detroit to come out like that and do that. So let's talk about that Carolina New Orleans game, guys. Carolina, look, man, I'm impressed with them. they're not playing around. They won 26-7. New Orleans blows out Green Bay in Florida last week, and Carolina just stomps them down to the ground, man. They basically called out their fraud. Sam Darnold, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey kept under 100 yards. He was 24 carries, 72 yards. Jameis Winston was terrible, man. 111 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 4 times. He was 11 of 22. His passing rating was 26.9. Pathetic.
If you are a New Orleans Saints fan, get used to it. You're going to end up having to go to the other guy, because I tell you what, Jameis Winston panics in pressure situations. And
Reckless.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the exact word I would use. I didn't get to see the game too much. I had to watch it on NFL Network, but I'll tell you what, when they showed some of those plays that were being made, he panicked in situations where you shouldn't throw the football or throw the football away, right?
Yeah.
Give yourselves and give your team an opportunity. And Sean Payton, listen, all he needs is a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. You give him a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over, and they're going to be in every single ball game all the rest of this year, right?
Well, and also, how many hand runs did Kamara have? He had like 11 carries or something.
For
You're not
31 yards.
You're not going to get anything with that. You got to do
the Carolina defense is gotten a lot better, right? It's a lot of young guys now. The linebacker cores, I think, complete from start to finish. The linebackers are one of the best linebacking cores in the NFL right now.
That's a pretty hot take.
They are fast.
Speed.
Yep, they are very, very fast. And remember, guys, Carolina took out the regular grass and went to turf this year.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Right?
They sure did.
So
that's a good point, Brian.
Matt Rule, right? Remember, his last year at Baylor, that's when everything started happening for Matt Rule. His team was fast.
Yep.
Right? And that's what he's trying to bring to the NFL. Right? Now, it's not always going to work, right? Fast doesn't always work. You've got to have overall talent. But if you can be fast, remember, didn't we have the greatest show on turf about 20 years ago?
The Rams, man.
I think we all had long hair at that point, and,
or at least a lot skinnier back then.
We weren't going to bed at 9 p.m., right? So, remember, that can be brought back in. I think that's what Matt Rule is going to set his sights on. He's going to, again, try to make that team fast, and we'll see. I mean, Thursday night's going to be a test because they're going from Sunday night to Thursday night this week in Houston, who is another team that's somewhat struggling still to find their own way, right?
Yeah.
They're still trying to find this whole, what do we do outside of Deshaun Watson, right? So
they're playing for Culley.
They are.
Yeah.
I was impressed with their performance, even though they lost. There's a lot of injuries in that game too, man. Baker Mayfield went out for about a half a quarter. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor got hurt. And once he got hurt and pulled his hamstring, it was game over for Houston. But you're right, Drew. They are playing.
They're supposed to be the drag. So.
And here's a stat.
Oh, Todd, we're losing you, man.
Sounds like he's going to Houston.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Their run defense is, they're net 50 yards per game on rushing. Carolina's.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty strong. I mean, it's pretty. Just look out for him. I mean, honestly, with the Colts losing again against the Rams. By the way, that was a close game too, man. The Rams and Colts. Colts came back. Carson Wentz gets hurt again, man. I mean, this guy just cannot stay healthy, dude.
Both ankles this time.
Yeah, I mean, his foot and then now his ankle, dude. He's just he's a walking Red Cross, dude. Just
him and Mostert.
Gosh.
I mean, it's not a great situation for them right now, man. I mean, they spent they picked up a $100 million contract from the Eagles, and it's not paying off, guys. Carson Wentz is a bust as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, he still had a decent game, before the injury. He's got talent if he can stay healthy. You just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, well, you got to give him an offensive line. I mean, remember a couple years ago.
Whoa! Hold on.
Well,
They have the best tackle and the best guard in the NFL.
They're still hurt.
No, Quentin Nelson. They both played.
Yeah, but they're
gimpy.
They played.
But still, they're the best offensive line probably in the NFL when healthy. But yeah,
Tampa Bay.
I mean, well, yeah, Tampa Bay. I mean, yeah, they're pretty legit. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it was. I was surprised that the Colts did come back on this Rams like that and made it a game. Made it a pretty good game. We're just going to breeze through some. I mean, there's no real comment to say about this. Denver beats Jacksonville. Any comments?
Hey, Denver's 2-0. I mean, they're playing their butts off. I mean,
Teddy,
they haven't played anybody, Drew. They played the Giants.
Yeah.
And they played Jacksonville.
Right.
And then they play the Jets, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Bridgewater's one of those guys that's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to get into the hands of his playmakers. I mean, if
Cortland Sutton.
Yep. If Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, keep shelling out like they've been playing not great defenses, but
yeah,
I actually like this team a lot.
Yeah. Hey, breaking news, guys. Zach Wilson just threw another interception.
In his sleep all day long.
The Jets look like the Jets. I mean, constantly throw. I mean, he had like 4 interceptions, man. The Jets fans booed him out of the stadium.
I don't know if it's too early, but I'll be the first guy to say I told you so.
Yeah.
I don't know what scouts ever saw in that guy, other than they might have thought he could have been the next Drew Brees. But Zach Wilson might be one of the biggest busted quarterback as high as he was drafted in a long time.
Yeah.
He's got arm strength. I'll give him that as much. I mean, he can spin a ball. He just can't spin it accurately.
he can improvise and he can play very, very well, but you have to have the team to be able to do that. They don't have the weapons. They don't have the weapons they need in order for him to be able to do that. I mean,
can anybody here name their number 1 wide receiver?
Barrios.
Corey Davis.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't yesterday.
No, not yesterday.
It was J.C. Jackson, and he happens to play for the New England. So anyway, that was their. It was his leading receiver for the Jets.
Next game.
Yeah. And then, of course, 49ers going to the Eagles, man. They do win 17-11. You know what, man? I saw a funny meme, dude. I saw a hilarious meme. It said it had Jalen Hurts' jersey, and it said, "It hurts the number 2 lose." It hurts to lose. I was like, that's great. Jalen Hurts has a great first opening weekend in the week 1, and then crap the bed week 2, man. I mean,
he played that bad. Honestly, I don't. I mean,
you put up 11 points, you played bad.
Well, but again, San Francisco's defense isn't that bad. Fight. It was an ugly game on both sides. I mean,
it was. He was 12 of 23, 190 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 2 times. So
and injuries. I mean, when you lose your 3 running backs in the same game,
Yeah. I mean,
Jalen Hurts led though. I mean, he had 82 yards rushing and a touchdown. So he was their leading receiver by far. But you're right, man. I mean, look, Quez Watkins had 2 receptions. Listen to this.
Quick.
117 yards.
That dude's quick.
He was their leading rusher, unless he can throw the ball and then get underneath it. So he was their leading rusher, not their leading receiver.
Yeah,
he may have been that too. So.
Yeah.
He had a 91-yard reception.
Yeah, it was. It was insane.
Ugly game on both sides of the ball for both teams, I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
final game.
San Francisco's. I think that they're going to be. I think they're legit though. I think that they went into a decent Philadelphia team there and was able to get that road victory. I think that was big for them.
At least the defense is legit. That offense is going to be struggling now that Devo's out, 3 running backs out. I think they're running Duke Johnson and Lamar Miller as new running back. So it's going to be tough for their offense. Defense can keep them in for a little while.
That's going to be a tough division to get out of. You've got to be. It's the NFC West is going to be
brutal.
The NFC West is going to be the NFC East, just in the opposite, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to win 12, 13, 14 games to get through in that, as opposed to winning 9 or 8 in the East.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Another last game was last night, guys. Me and Drew kind of talked about it when in the very beginning there, man. But that game last night between Kansas City and Baltimore was ridiculous. What a game!
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable game. One of the greatest
back-to-back weeks. Even with the Los Angeles, Baltimore has been in these, nail-biting, just crazy games. So
yeah, it was awesome. I mean, just absolutely awesome. So I don't know, man.
It was a game of resiliency for me, because when Lamar Jackson comes out and throws a pick six and comes out and throws another pick, and then you have Patty Mahomes going up and down the field, for them to stay, within striking distance to be able to win that game, and Lamar Jackson keeping his head and thinking about the next play and not dwelling on the past, that was huge for Lamar, and I think that was huge for Baltimore. And when Baltimore gets healthy, watch out AFC, because what Lamar Jackson can do, it's impressive.
And the one good thing about Lamar, you can compare him to any running quarterback, RG3, Michael Vick. He doesn't take hits. He is so elusive; they just can't square him up. So he's something different. And I'm a Ravens fan, so I get to watch it all the time. He's spectacular. He might not throw up 300 yards passing, but he's going to total almost 400. So, I mean, he's nuts.
As a football fan, that is the type of football game you want to watch.
Oh, so much. Oh, absolutely. I'm a defensive guy. I've always been a defensive guy, but that was super entertaining last night.
That is a football game. Same thing with Arizona and Minnesota, right?
Yep.
That is a game that you wanted to watch. And Greg, you're right. I mean, I like defenses. I like watching, defenses kind of dominate a game where a team just can't move the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to watch a team, and we'll talk about all 4 of those teams, right? Arizona, Minnesota, and then you've got Baltimore and Kansas City. They could do whatever they wanted. And all of them really do have somewhat decent defenses, other than Minnesota. Minnesota's a little shaky, but the other 3 teams, they have pretty decent defenses.
Agreed.
And they all got shredded.
Yeah.
And
the league's making it that way because you can't touch a receiver without getting flagged. I mean, you got these taunting penalties and everything else. So, I mean, you're going to see these 50-51 games, going forward. This is what the league wants. They want flag football games.
Guys, we can't end this broadcast without talking. I'm sorry, we move on, but can't end this broadcast without talking baseball. Guys, the wild card's getting tight, man. A lot of things going back and forth. Tampa is in firm control of the American League East. Chicago is they're going to win the Central. Astros are going to win the West. Man, the National League is where it's at, guys. National League, Atlanta Braves are only 2 games up against Phillies.
Nobody wants to win the NL East. Nobody wants it.
The Brewers are going to win the Central. And the Giants, listen, the Dodgers are only now a game back of the Giants. The wild card, look, Cincinnati had control of it. Boston's in it now. Toronto is only a game back of the wild card in the American League East. The Yankees are just crapping the bed. They're a game and a half back. And then Oakland Athletics are only 2 games back. The National League, guys, Dodgers are going to get that wild card, one of the wild card spots. But the Cardinals, guys, could be playing the Dodgers for a 1-game playoff. And listen to this. If you have a 100-win season like the Dodgers will have, they're going to be playing the Cardinals, right? And Todd, I think the Cardinals can beat the Dodgers.
Mm-mm.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean,
one game.
I mean, of course they
if
could.
Scherzer or Bueller's on the mound for that 1 game, not a chance.
I'm telling you, guys,
Cincinnati
they're
just
dangerous.
Cincinnati just beat Walker Buehler this past week. I mean, Yes, I do think that the Cardinals could do damage. If I'm a Dodgers fan, I want to win. I want to make sure that I'm in a series. And
Yes.
let's let San Francisco play in the wild card. So if
Yep.
I'm the Dodgers, I'm pulling out all the stops. They got 2 Mondays, so they have today to work on that pitching staff to get it where they want. They have next Monday, and that's it. And I think that the Dodgers, I think they're actually going to overtake San Francisco and win that division.
I called that.
Late, and I think that it's going to be. I think the Giants fans could be puking after a 1-game playoff loss after the big lead that they had in that division. I could totally see it happening.
Brian, does Scherzer win the Cy Young?
Oh, it'd be hard to bet against him. Give me somebody else. You're shaking your head no, Drew. Give me somebody else that you'd throw in there. Don't say Walker Buehler because he hasn't had the year that Scherzer has.
I agree.
The first half, I mean, again with the Nationals, he wasn't as electric as he is. I think he's throwing a 0.6 with the Dodgers now.
Here, you will hear something funny. In 30 days of the Dodgers playing, their top 5 lineup staff has a 0.68 ERA.
Yeah, it's not
in the last month. That is absurd.
So Scherzer leads earned run average, basically the ERA, with a 2.08, right? So he's Corbin Burns, Walker Buehler's third. Okay, so again, he's got run support now, being with the Dodgers. Walks plus hits per inning, 0.8. I think somebody just mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get any better than that.
No,
you just don't get any better. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen like that, right? So. Does he win the Cy Young? I don't know. Somebody will probably, it could be that depending on how far the Dodgers go, it could end to be Corbin Burns in Milwaukee. I think there's another name that,
Yeah, he slipped my mind, but yeah, he's good up there too. So,
I mean,
I think Max Scherzer runs away with it in the NL. I think the AL's where it's more intriguing, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Robbie Ray is the lead right now in the AL.
Robbie Ray has to be right for Toronto.
Yeah, I mean he's up there. I mean he's in the top. If you look at everybody in the, all of major leagues. I mean his ERA is 2.64. So not bad there. His WHIP is
his ERA is 2.72. It's 2.72. Yep.
I'm looking at a stat here right now today.
Oh, this is current. He's pitching today, so that's why
264. So,
Yep. I mean, his WHIP is 101. 233 strikeout. I mean, 12-5. I mean, Robbie Ray definitely. I think deserves that nod right now, and he is losing against Tampa. But
can I get us into some controversial picks potentially here?
Yeah, sure.
Who is the AL MVP? Is it Ohtani or Guerrero?
I think it's Guerrero.
Ohtani. You don't ever see a pitcher with that low of an ERA with that many homers.
They shut him down though. That's the problem.
But the team has done nothing.
Yeah,
right?
That's
the
it.
Team has done nothing, and we've all seen stats, but you all see how the writers vote. That's really where it all comes from. When the writers vote, it's what has your team done? What have you done to help your team win or get to the next?
If Toronto makes it, which they could.
Oh, they're in.
They're going to be in. I think Guerrero gets in. I think he gets the MVP.
Yeah, and we might get to see something fun happen. Vlad Guerrero, unless Ohtani goes on a rip, Vlad Guerrero is going to be a Triple Crown winner in the AL. How about that?
That would be how long has it been since we've seen that, man?
Miguel Cabrera, did he win it?
Yeah, Miggy, I think was the last one to get it, right?
Yeah, he for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Back in like 2007.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So the Triple Crown is batting average, home runs, and then RBIs, right?
Yep,
correct.
So Guerrero's not going to catch Jose Abreu.
True.
Abreu is not qualified.
Why not?
I don't know. They were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, I mean he's leading the
Oh, but
he's
is it
leading RBIs.
because he's a DH?
No, he's considered a first baseman.
Mhm.
No, I'm not sure.
So Guerrero's tied for fourth right now with 105. It's going to be tough to do it, but you're right, Todd. He could end up winning the Triple Crown because of 321 batting average right now, 46 homers, and he's got 105 RBIs.
He's better than his dad, guys. He's
Oh,
better.
well, absolutely.
So far, I mean, 2 short years. I mean, that's
I mean, he's better than. I mean, I'm very impressed with this kid, man. His demeanor. I mean, his enthusiasm for the game. Everything about him, I love him. So.
And what about
Toronto's-
Machado? Sorry,
No, Toronto looks fantastic. So you talk about the Machado fight in the
Machado
dugout?
Tatis.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
fight,
mean,
man.
when Machado lets Tatis know, like, hey, it's not all about you. San Diego's falling apart, and that team's not going to make the playoffs.
No,
And that is going to be one of the biggest blow-ups
Too
for a
many
wild
egos on
card
that
race.
team.
Was it $180 million payroll this year?
Yeah, too many egos.
Let me throw this out there to you guys. What does the owners do in San Diego, knowing that has happened and knowing that they've blown what they've had early on in the season, right? And they've basically blown it. Do they come in
And
there
they
and
even
blow
went
that?
out. They even went out and got
Machado's
Adam
gone.
Frazier from Pittsburgh too to upgrade.
Do they blow that team
They
apart?
have to. You
Between
look at teams like
Tatis-
Tampa. You look at teams
Machado
at
was
Tampa.
gone.
You look at teams at Tampa that just don't spend payroll. $50 million at most is what they've got, and they're blowing out the AL East. I mean, you've got it's not about payroll. It's not about I mean, it's not the Yankees model anymore. I mean, these teams, these analytics and everything else that's going on, man. You can't. I mean, look at the Chicago White Sox. I mean,
Team chemistry.
it's team chemistry. I mean, you don't
Oakland.
need a huge payroll to win in baseball anymore. You need good management. Well, I mean, obviously Tampa's the analytical teams, like Moneyball or whatever it is they play.
It's like
Oakland.
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 Yeah. They have a great. I think another thing too is constantly keeping your farm healthy, and that's where the Nationals suck because their farm teams absolutely suck. They don't
Well,
have
when you
away all their
continual
players.
amount of players.
Trade
When
them all
the-
away.
When the Nats make trades, though, they dip into that farm league deep to get players.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
They
something
trade
that
them
you've
all
got to
away.
be careful with. Yeah.
They do. They give away the farm. They do. Literally.
So
Like
So-
I went back and looked at a potential trade, and I don't remember if you guys remember this or not. Early in the year, the Reds were looking to make a splash trade and get Francisco Lindor. Do you guys remember?
I do remember that,
was
yes.
being
Well, the
spoke of?
Mets got him. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, listen, and now that you know what the Reds did this year, this is what they would have gave away. Jonathan India, the second baseman, leadoff guy. Jesse Winker, the guy that made an all-star outfield. And then 2 other high-end prospects. Thank you, God, for not letting the Reds make that trade.
I mean, and that's another team that's in turmoil is the Mets. What are they going to do this year? Not making it to the playoffs again. Leading majority of the spring ball season. In the lead, and they just kind of blew up their team.
They go anywhere where their pitchers are. I mean, DeGrom's got to be the best pitcher in the world if he's healthy. I mean,
But he got hurt.
yeah, that he can't stay healthy, and they keep shutting him down.
I'll tell you a team that you got to look for next year, guys. And I hate to say this, man. I think the Baltimore Orioles are going to start making some buzz, man.
A long way to go. Long way to go.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about again, I'm talking about next year, guys. I think if they get 1 or 2 more trades on their pitching staff, I think they're going to be pretty decent.
That AL East is brutal.
Another one is the Marlins, man. The Marlins are not so shabby, man.
1 or 2 more trades and the Orioles can win 55 games in a year. That's I mean, let's just, let's
They
just
just
call
need
it the
some
way it
pitchers.
is.
Oh man,
They just need some pitchers.
they'll be dissing Camden in the yards like
Hey,
that.
I'll tell you another thing that's going to happen in the off season after what happened with the Cincinnati Reds, and blowing it and being one of the best offenses going to an offense that can't hit, and that's due to team chemistry because David Bell has no idea what in the world he's doing. David Bell's head will be called for in Cincinnati. It already is being called for by the fans.
I'd say Castellanos, man. What a talent he has, man. You waste the talent, man. You have such strong starting pitching, and their bullpen is garbage. You can't have that kind of imbalance in your pitching staff, man.
So let me ask you a question here. You talked about the Chicago White Sox. Overrated in my book. They're not going anywhere. They lose first round. They're in a division in the AL Central. There's nobody over 500 in that division.
Correct.
Right? So they haven't played anybody. So in that division.
But they're going to be hosting let's see, they're going to be hosting Boston. Or whoever wins the wild card.
No, they'll host let's see. Tampa Bay will have the number 1. They'll host Houston.
Oh, they'll host Houston. Okay, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Houston's going to blow them away, right?
Houston will blow them away. Correct.
No chance on that one.
You're right.
Again, you talk about the White Sox. They're 85-64.
Yeah.
Cleveland's in second place at 73-75.
Right. They're terrible. I think they're like 11 and a half games back or something like that.
And Chicago is under 500 against the West, the AL West teams.
Wow.
Again, they're squeaking by because the rest of that division is just done, right? So 85 wins, that doesn't get you anywhere, right?
No.
I mean, it may get you a wild card in the National League, but that's not gonna, that doesn't do anything, right?
Guys, give you an update on the Lions Packers. Lions first and goal in the Green Bay 9, getting ready. It's tied 7-7 still. Mid-second quarter is 8:41 to go, but they're driving first and goal.
I don't understand how Aaron Rodgers can't score versus this team.
It's you know what? Can we call the spade a spade? Aaron Rodgers is quitting on the Green Bay Packers.
He doesn't want to be there.
I mean, let's just call it the way it is. I mean,
and he sits away from his teammates, and it's weird.
I tell you what, if I was in Green Bay and I was his teammates, man, I would absolutely be pissed off right now in that locker room. The way Aaron Rodgers is playing right now, I mean, the way he acted in, and there's been reports, like, what was it, Robert Brooks that used to play for him, called him out. I mean, all these different, players called him out.
Finley.
Finley, talk about what a terrible teammate he is.
Diva.
But dude, to come in there and demand, and basically telling people you're going to retire, and then going around, talking all these demands about how he wants all this, feedback, and how he wants to have all this control and power into upper management, and then call out goons and all this other stuff, and then come in like a freaking diva, like you said, play like absolute crap. Jordan Love would absolutely put more than 3 points on the board for the Green Bay Packers. There's no doubt in my mind.
If they lose tonight, which Detroit just scored, by the way, if they lose to Detroit, I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Love's going to be starting on this team.
Do you bench Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
If they feel that he's quit on the team, absolutely.
This is juicy, guys. We need to write an article on this. Do you bench Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
If Aaron Rodgers continues to end game, watch him. He's already doing it this game right here. I have an update that says right here from Bleacher Report that says Aaron Rodgers continues to sit away from teammates during game, and he's sitting on the edge of a bench with nobody around him. He's not sitting around Jordan Love. He's not learning, teaching, showing. That's what you do as a veteran quarterback. And if you want to go out this way, go out this way. But your legacy is getting shot day by day, play by play, game by game.
Here's my hot take: if they lose tonight to Detroit, he will be out before Halloween.
Out as in benched, or out as in
benched? They're not going to trade him.
Well, no, they won't trade him.
No,
nobody will give him what they want.
Yeah, they're not going to get. I mean, remember, you're right. I think, who was it that just said it right here? He came in, during the offseason saying, I wanted more, flexibility or more say and
drafting
the team that's coming in and that sort of thing. Didn't he bring back Randall Cobb? Wasn't he the one that helped negotiate that and bring that in? What has Randall Cobb done since he's been there?
Nothing.
He's got one catch.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They've thrown the ball to him one time.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, he's more interested in doing Jeopardy, more interested in doing the Pat McAfee show, and all this other stuff he's got going on, man. His mind, his thoughts are not in this, and he wants to get out there and say, "Relax." Well, it's time to panic, dude.
No, he's in Hollywood.
If they lose this game, it's time to panic.
But is he a no-win situation here? Because remember, if they bench him, Drew, you said it. If they bench him before Halloween, remember, he can opt out in Green Bay, right? That contract's done. He could be done. How much money is he going to lose if he goes elsewhere? If it's shown, now I know we're talking about former MVP of the league and everything else, and all this great stats and everything. Do people teams come back to him and go, "Hey, we're not real happy with the way that you're handling teammates and things like that." Word starts getting spread. How much money is he going to leave on the table?
Washington will pay him. They need.
He won't come to Washington.
Hey, money talks,
But I don't see that.
There'll be several teams that'll throw money at Aaron Rodgers.
But Brian, let me kind of say this: Aaron Rodgers was willing and ready to retire at the end of the beginning of this year. Anyway, he didn't care. He's even said publicly, "It's not about the money. It's really not." I mean, he's got enough money, regardless. Now, I mean, this is a guy that literally, basically denounced his mom and dad. I mean, and put his brother on the back burner, man. I mean, he doesn't care.
If it's not about the money, his actions are proving otherwise.
It is. He reminds me of Jay Cutler.
If he was so ready, sorry, Drew, if he was so ready to retire and didn't want to play in this atmosphere, really didn't want to be involved in Green Bay, why come back? He's the one who came back, remember?
He did. I think what it was his teammates were begging him to come back. That's number one. I think he was doing it for his teammates. I think Bakhtiari is the one who really trying to convince him to come back. Him and Bakhtiari, very, very good friends. But I think that's all it was, man. And I think that, he did see, some change into the upper management. Him and Gunther Kuntz are not in good terms whatsoever, but him and the coach kind of, we're talking about personnel and trying to get this draft in order and all these plays and all that stuff. So I think he was kind of promised some things by upper management in Green Bay, and that's what kind of gave him to come back.
And he wanted control of where he can go. He wanted this 1 year, hey, I'm out.
That's it.
Now he can decide where he wants to go, and he's going to go to a big media market. I mean, I don't know.
Could you see him as a New York Giant?
No.
That's a big media market, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just wondering, a decent defense with some decent receivers and Sterling Shepard, and I just think that for some reason I kind of could picture him there.
What about going to Pittsburgh?
Not big enough market.
I'm thinking Miami.
He didn't go to Miami.
He don't play good in warm weather.
He doesn't play good in Florida. That's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what other team out there. I mean, he's a California kid, but the Rams and Chargers are set. The 49ers,
maybe.
Go
to Oakland.
49ers.
If it's not Denver as another team, I don't know where it would be.
Las Vegas.
But if Teddy Bridgewater shows up this year, they're like,
Vegas could be a good team.
We'll keep him.
Yeah.
If Vegas barely
David
makes
Carr's
the playoff,
there for next 5 years.
No, not
this
even
is his
close.
last year.
He's done after this.
Yeah.
His contract's up. They have to win it all. They would have to win it all for John Gruden to be happy with Derek Carr. They have to go. Heck, I'll say 12-5, and at least get to the Super Bowl for them to hang on to Derek Carr. If not, I think you could see Aaron Rodgers go into Las Vegas.
Here's a team for you guys. Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins' contract ends.
He won't.
Yeah.
Go.
Is he gonna pull a Brett Favre in his career?
Brett Favre.
Good. That's a good point.
He could follow.
How about if
Brett
Justin
Favre's
Fields doesn't
footsteps.
work out and you can see him as Chicago Bear, Greg?
He'll never be a Bear. He'll never be a Bear.
Never be.
And what? And I'll tell you what. As a Bear fan, I would reject him. I would reject him. You know what I mean? But I can see him. Listen, I get to see him completely out of football. I could kind of see him like an Andrew Luck, completely out of football, completely out. Once he gets out this year and just go on the wayside, you'll never hear from him ever again. You know what I mean?
How about this scenario? Russell Wilson goes to Las Vegas. Rodgers goes to Seattle.
I like the thought there. I like that theory.
Wilson's already said he wants to go to Vegas or Chicago.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't.
Well, he's not going to Chicago.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see Rodgers going to Seattle. I'm trying to find another NFC team that he would go to. I don't think he goes to any NFC team at all. I think if you're going to see him somewhere, you could see him, in the AFC somewhere. I do like the Vegas deal. I don't think the Seattle deal would fall into. Everybody else, I'm looking through the team. Everybody else is pretty much set. Where they have high dollar contracts.
Washington.
Greg said Pittsburgh, and it makes more and more sense the more I think about it.
Well, look at it like this. Also, too, I mean, if you get to look at the draft, too, it's coming out this year. There's not really some great quarterbacks out in the draft this year. There's not. And so free agents are going to matter, and they're going to rule. By the way, guys, now Green Bay, 1st and 10 in the red zone against Detroit as a 4:15 left in the second quarter. So Aaron Rodgers is taking this team right back down. So he ain't dead yet, man. We're giving away the farm for him right now. But
I don't think he wants to be embarrassed by Detroit.
Well, I mean, he's owned the NFC North, man. So I don't know. This is, he's doing his thing. But anyway, well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, man. It's a good show. A little over an hour show. Thanks guys for coming on, man. I love this stuff, dude. I mean, this is just, I get jazzed up for this, man. I really do. But we'll see what happens, guys. Who do you guys think is going to win the ball game?
I think Green Bay will pull it out.
I agree. I think
Pick
Green Bay
6 for the win.
Yeah, I think Green Bay does it. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on Motion Sports Network. Brian, we got some big projects coming your way, man. Come next year, right?
We got a ton of projects. You and I are going to get together. We're going to have some live racing at action tracks, at some short tracks. We're going to throw in some karting. I've already got some stuff set up next year for karting. Yeah. We're going to do some road racing stuff. We're going to have some in-car camera stuff. We're lighting it up. We're just going to get ready to put it all together and stream it all together for the fans. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, man.
Come out to Eldora in Ohio.
Oh, it's a great track.
That is a bucket list of mine. I was supposed to be there at the beginning of this month and ended up changing my plans and kind of wish I had gone to watch the World 100.
Is Tony Stewart still the owner of that track?
I think so.
Yep. Yeah, he's not going to let that go.
No, that's a great track.
It's a gold mine.
Yep.
Are they still doing trucks on that track?
They did not do it this year.
What a shame.
Open wheel and late, right?
Yeah, they've got all kinds of stuff in there, but they will. They'll get back there. I venture to see
I think they did it. They did Eldora over at Bristol this year, so they try to copy it.
I liked it. Actually, I thought it was fantastic. I think I liked it. I think what that did, and we talked about it a little earlier, I think that product of throwing the dirt on there and then coming back in September and running on there changed the whole dynamic of that racetrack from going from that dirt early on in the year back to thing. The only thing I don't like is the 2022 schedule, guys, right before we wrap up. Easter is Bristol dirt at night. That's
not good. I don't like that either. It's a NASCAR tradition not to race on Easter.
Yep, that they have kind of messed that up. We'll have to see what that happens in the ratings, but I don't think that is going. I think that'll be a 1-year deal, and I'm not real excited about racing in the LA Coliseum. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But
how do you feel about that Indianapolis road course? I think that's horrible.
Well, I tell you what, Drew, I'm going to get a firsthand look because I'm leaving Friday. Because Friday afternoon, or actually, I'm leaving Friday morning to head up to Indianapolis because we have the Sports Club Car of America's 2021 national runoff. So we have several groups out there that will have 72 cars. Each group has 100 registered. So they have some last chance races. They were there in 2017. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited. I can't wait to get there. We'll have some Motion Sports Network. We'll have some videos and a lot of things going on there this year, in the next week.
The official mascot of Motion Sports Network.
Yeah,
That's
Say
it.
hello.
Oshie.
Oshie wants to say hello. So
Oshie's
anyway,
gonna freak me out.
I think he's needing to drop some rocks.
guys, go on motionsportsnetwork.com. Look, man, we got some new baseball jerseys that just came in, some hats and all that good stuff, man. All that's coming. Brian, I got your message, by the way. We'll get you some out for some stuff, all that good stuff.
I got to
out
get
for you,
some
man.
stuff.
Yeah,
Awesome, guys.
it's coming. It's coming. So anyway, again, we're gonna be also trying to do some live events, some live
That
stuff
Maryland
in
game
college
sounds
football.
awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make a live appearance over at Maryland and all
Let's
that good
do
stuff.
it.
So guys, we're trying to build this network. Y'all help us out. Download the app.
Do
Again, the app is free. Everything's free, man. Roku, Amazon Fire, we're all in there. Go check it out, man. We are just having
We're
fun
growing.
talking
We're growing.
sports, no politics, all that crap, just sports, man, which I love doing. Guys, thanks again for the night, man. We appreciate it. We are out of here. See you later. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.